So you're probably at that point where you're having a hard time focusing because your sleep is really lacking and you're wondering what you could do about it. So we're going to talk about that right after this intro. How you doing, my optimal mind? Today we're going to be talking about how you can improve your sleep so you can have better focus, because that could really hinder not only on your focus but also your energy, which of course having decrease in energy will lead to also having focus and attention problem to be productive throughout the day at your work, or if you're running your own business, so forth. But before I get started, I want to let you know that I do have a free training that basically it's my focus mindset formula, and basically tells you how to understand and what are the best ways to improve your focus and mindset, especially to increase your productivity, whether you're working for somebody or if you run your own business. That if that's something that's interesting to you, you could actually go to the training in the description below. So going in, I'm going to talk about a few things here of how you can actually improve your sleep, but also leading into help improve your energy, improve your focus, because that's how kind of a chain reaction if you're having sleep issues. So the first thing that you really need to ask yourself, are you having a problem falling asleep or staying asleep? So there's a big difference there. Also, you might have a combination of both. So for example, let's just address if you're having a hard time falling asleep. Now this goes back to different hormones that are supposed to help you fall asleep, and that is melatonin. It's something that your brain does produce to help you fall asleep. In order for this to happen, it needs to be dark out. So we have these phones and we have these devices and TVs and stuff like that has this light that really decreases our melatonin production. And when that happens, it will be a harder time for you to fall asleep. So the first recommendation I would say to you is to certainly, most definitely, try to cut back on your screen time at night. At least, an hour or two before you go to bed. If you're having a hard time falling asleep, try that. If that doesn't work, you can certainly, supplement melatonin to help you fall asleep. That could be a possibility that could help with that. But the other thing that you can really do is reset your biological clock. And how you do that is with light therapy. So using actually light that does manipulate the production of a lot of the different brain chemistry that has to do with our sleep cycle. So what I mean by that, what you can do specifically is by simply in the very first thing in the morning is expose yourself to natural light. Now, if you're watching this during the winter months, which we're coming upon that right now, it's in November right now. But if you're coming upon the winter months, you can get a natural light lamp, and just very first thing in the morning when you're kind of getting ready for the day, or you're doing something, usually for me it's like in front of the computer or something like that, going over my emails or whatnot, is having a natural light lamp. And you get that on Amazon and just be exposed to it for an hour. Or you go outside if it's still light enough when you wake up. Unless you wake up really early and it's still dark out, then you need to still use the natural light lamp. Or you just go outside and be exposed to actually natural light for an hour. This helps reset the biological clock, so that way you have better exposure, and it helps when by the time it's nighttime, your body is ready to go to sleep. It's producing that melatonin. Now the other issue is if you're having a hard time staying asleep. So this is very different. This goes a little bit further back with the precursors to producing melatonin. It's looking at something like 5-HTP or L-tryptophan. These are things that you can supplement as well to help improve you staying asleep, because that's the problem. It's more has to do something with that in your body chemistry and your brain chemistry versus just melatonin. So usually people will not find a benefit of actually supplementing melatonin if they have a hard time staying asleep. So if you're able to improve upon that, what you do specifically is also use melatonin time release. So melatonin time release is releasing it throughout the night. So if you're having a hard time falling asleep, that's another thing. It also could be a possibility of digestive issues. Sometimes that keeps people up at night, like the liver and gallbladder. So something that you should be looking at for your own health. And by doing this, by improving your sleep, that will help improve your energy, and that will help with your focus, so that you have a clear, sharp mind when you're ready for the day. And not only that, you're able to be more productive if you have more of a sharp mind and have better focus in that aspect. The other thing that can be a possibility that are trouble with sleep as well as with your focus is looking at your cortisol levels. So cortisol can be out of balance for people, especially for people who work a lot, whether you run your own business or you work a very high stress job, or just in general you're really just stressed, then it's really, really important to look at your cortisol levels to see if those are off. And what you do is it's usually a saliva test that you could check. You check different intervals. You check your saliva, your cortisol levels very first thing in the morning, early, later in the morning, afternoon, at nighttime, and then before you go to bed. And this can see if there's an issue pattern, because cortisol levels should be highest in the morning, getting you up in the morning, and then also staying pretty, it goes down a little bit in the afternoon, but still pretty high enough to keep your energy up and your focus up. So that way you have good sleep cycles, you have good energy and better focus. And so the only way to do that is by testing and running and testing your own cortisol levels. Something that I do with all my patients is to kind of see where are those imbalances, where if there's cortisol deficiencies, issues going on there. And so once we do that and we see that the cortisol level are balanced, then we have to look at addressing and supporting the adrenals to produce better cortisol level, have more cortisol management, depending if it's high or low, depending on where it's at throughout the day, and be able to do that. And once we do that, then you are able to have better sleep, because it might be you have too high cortisol levels at night, and that's what's keeping you up at night. Or maybe it's happening, where it's going throughout the night, and then you sleep throughout the night as well. So there could be issues going on there, and once we address that can help with better sleep. But not only that, help you with have better energy throughout the day, so you can have better focus throughout the day and be more productive for your business or wherever you work, so that you can live a healthy, happy life with that as well. So hopefully you guys found this, beneficial, things that you should actually be looking at. But if you want, further help as far as, with your focus, I have a free training. It's called the Focus Mindset Formula Masterclass. That's in the description below, that you can watch. And it goes over my strategies that I use with my clients and my patients to help them improve with focus, attention, so they can be more productive at work and also be more productive in their own business if that's what they are doing. So again, it's in the description below. And until next time, this is Dr. Legrand signing out. And remember, you have an optimal mind. Thanks. Bye.